Is there anything I can say or do to get you to drop that gun and comply with my lawful order without me having to shoot you? So I'm sitting in my jail cell. This dude walks up to the cell, and he's real nice, wearing like a polo shirt that said LAPD on it and had his thing, And he says, look, I'm not here to ask you any questions about your case. I know you're getting out in a couple days, and I'm not here to do anything. I just want to know. I've been looking at your case file, and you seem like the guy that was not going to give up. Because we had SWAT en route, and you have a history of shooting at the police. So I'm like looking up and saying, yeah, what you want, man? And so he asked me something, and he said, what made you put your gun down when the police came at you? And and I figured I was going to die that day, so I was ready for it. And I'm armed up. I'm like, yeah, you start pumping yourself up. Hell yeah. And let me tell you something. It was the policeman that was standing after they kicked my motherfucking door in. Motherfuckers. They kicked my door in, and the dude, and there was immediate hail of bullets. Ba 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 ba. Them motherfuckers went running. I mean, you're talking about police was running like motherfuckers, man. They was. I'm like, yeah, nigga. And so they had waited out and all this stuff, and I was ready. I figured this was at the end of it. This is how the Jigga Jones thing's gonna end. So they fishbone. So I gotta stop eating shit before I do. Anyway, man. So the dude asked me, so what made you put the gun down? And so the policeman that came to the door was an older dude, had a little bit of gray hair, and he had a wheel gun, like a revolver, like oh shit. And if you learned anything from the North Hollywood shootout, don't fuck with no LAPD with a revolver. They can kill your motherfucking ass if they want to. You gone. Them old dudes, they don't play that shit. But the old dudes have more training these new cops ain't got. And so he's yelling at me, Nipsey, put the gun down! Nipsey, put the gun down! He put the gun down, put the gun. And then, because after a while, when the cops are telling you, put the gun down, and people see these videos, the cops told him 100 times to put the gun down. After the first 3 times, all you hear is, you don't even hear what these motherfuckers are saying because the adrenaline's pumping, and you're just looking for an opportunity to shoot them before they shoot you, But this old dog, after they had, all these guys yelled, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. It sounded like, it started to get to a rhythm to it. It was like, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down, I'm getting ready to, yeah, And I'm not trying to be funny about it, but this is some real shit. And for the policeman, old dude, put the young punks off to the side. That was talking about, it's gonna go, it's not worth it, all this bullshit, right? But the old officer came up, and I would say old, but he was older than these motherfuckers. And because, he rolled on the scene, and he comes up, he's got a wheel gun out. He's the only one there. And I know the SWAT's en route because I got a police radio. I already know. I'm already trying to figure out how to get out of the house, So I got a gun right here. But so the dude is up there with the wheel gun, and I'm thinking in my head, I better be careful because these dudes with these wheel guns, they know how to shoot. And revolver, I keep saying wheel gun, I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, man, so dude has got the thing aimed at me. I know he could drop me if he wanted to. I know it because I was behind some bullshit. What I know now about concealment and cover, oh hell. He had me. He could have killed me, but I didn't know it then. So the dude, back and forth, put the gun down. And then he says to me, because I told him, he says, what the fuck? He says, Nipsey, is there anything I can say or do to get you to comply with my lawful order to put this gun down that you got without having to shoot you? And I was like, what? So he's like, is there anything I can say or do to get you to drop that gun and comply with my lawful order without me having to shoot you? And it broke the chain of what the fuck I was thinking about. Because I'm thinking, yeah, if he didn't want to shoot me, what I was like, can you stop calling me motherfucking Nipsey? I mean, I know it's my legal name and shit, but I was going by Jigga Jones, you know. Jigga Jones, I was my fucking, I was Jigaboo Jones back then, though. So I said, man, just call me Jigaboo. And he said, oh, okay. Jigaboo, can you put the gun down and can we? I said, well, all I'm gonna do is go to jail. Fuck that. I'm ready to shoot this one out. You know, I was stupid. Fuck, man. I mean, now here I'm in my 40s. Now, who would have thought, you know? So he's talking to me, man. And then he wasn't just talking at me. Drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop. He was saying, hey, is there anything I can do not to have to shoot you so I can go home today? And that kind of talk was the first time a police officer had ever talked to me, not at me. Like, nigga, black man, suspect. You know, he was talking to me. So I was like, oh, shit. And it broke my chain because I was in the mindset of this is the last motherfucking day. And so I told him, yeah, he says, is there anything I can say or do without having to use lethal force on you today? And I was like, yeah, stop calling me motherfucking Nipsey Washington. Because that used to piss me off back then. I don't know why. But I was young, man, and I was mad, angry, you know. And he was like, we learned stuff from you, man. He says, unfortunately, you're better than we are. He says, we have a hard time catching you. So they bring all kinds of resources. He says, the city has learned a lot of shit from you. You know, how to respond, how to not to respond, which was funny because he was telling the truth because I was good, man. And the police had learned, they'd crash cars trying to get at me. And at the time, and you've seen some of these videos on the internet, man, because we was filming this shit because it was funny. They had a special task force, an SIS, some kind of special stuff that was sent out to come to get me. But since at the time I lived out of the city, they was having trouble. Anyway, he was like, man, he says, you're funny, man. We like you. I mean, you laugh at us. You call us bitches on the radio. And he says, you're about the funniest thing we've got. And he says, he's like, maybe you'll come back one day and be a comedian. I was like, comedian, fuck that, you know. And now look at it, right? So he talked to me, man, like for real. And maybe some of it was he wanted to go home because he was like, hey, my shift's gonna end in, you know, a couple hours. I stopped doing that voice. That's disrespectful. But he and I became friends later on when he retired. So yeah, so the dude asked me why did I put the gun down, and the reason why was because the guy actually talked to me instead of at me. You know, they had been chasing me for years in the city of LA, and a dude was like, is there anything we can say or do to get you to comply with my lawful order today without me having to shoot you? And that process broke all the shit I was thinking about, killing all the motherfuckers. How many will I shoot before they get me? Will I be able to run and shoot as I'm getting shot? I mean, I was thinking all this fucked up shit. So yeah, the problem is, I think with law enforcement today, and I'll tell you from a criminal's perspective, you don't usually get that. I've dealt with a whole lot of police. Everybody knows, here, you've been arrested 80-something times. Yeah, I know. But I will tell you something. The older cops that they used to teach, yeah, they beat your ass. For real. But they would talk to you instead of at you. And the dudes today were like, stop resisting, it's mechanical. Stop resisting, drop the gun, taser, taser, blip, blip. At that point, you're just making noise. You're not talking to me. You know, I'm in my head, I'm thinking about gangster movies. I'm thinking about all this shit. And if you can't break through that with that, they had to engage me, you know, and some of the cops would talk your name, you know, but this dude was like, yeah, you know, we learned stuff from you. And then, cause I was, you know, it was a thing. When you heard Jigaboo Jones on the radio, on the police radio, people were like, oh, here we go. People, ooh-wee, you know, but yeah, so, it was just, I would say, life experience, because the cop was cool enough and smart enough to realize that I was ready to die. Nothing they was going to say to me was going to not have me come out there and start dumping. And they knew it. And they didn't want to see that happen. You know, why? I don't know. I mean, if it was me, they would want to kill me, because I was a motherfucker. I mean, we got it judges. We got it cops. Well, I mean, they talk about the shit these motherfuckers are burning down now. They burning down shit for nothing. Black Lives Matter, burn shit for nothing. We burn shit because there was a corrupt motherfucking judge, there was a corrupt motherfucking officer, and we let them know they couldn't get away with that shit, you know. But anyway, man, I'm talking too much, but that's what it is. If the police have any take out of this, is that, that question that they came up with was cold. Is there anything I can say or do to get you to comply with my lawful order without using force and killing you today? I was like, wow. Woo! Make a motherfucker think. I didn't think I'd ever make it to my 40s. I wasn't even planning on it. So, yeah, that's the takeaway on that one. From a criminal's perspective, what the cops could have done and can do, engage on these people instead of being so mechanical.